Well, Anthony, what have you been watching this week?
Yeah, so I got some new stuff. The first thing we both apparently watched, we didn't know we both watched it, but we both apparently watched it. So maybe a small, because I also don't think we're going to do an episode on it. Obviously, it's not that kind of a show. So maybe we could have a small discussion about it now, so I don't take all your thunder here.
Yeah.
I checked out The Reluctant Traveler, which is Eugene Levy, on Apple TV Plus. My initial thoughts are it's beautiful. Shot so well. The places, it's really an advertisement. I mean, to some extent, I kept thinking like, this is a perfect commercial for. I want to go everywhere he goes. Obviously, he's got his good little quips, and he's funny, and so that's nice to have. And so it's a different take on a travel show, which is nice. But also, I do think. I've only watched 2 so far. In the 2 I've watched, they're leaning a little too hard on his reluctance, which is fine. That's what the show's called. But I'll give you an example. So like I'm going to Costa Rica later this year, and he has an episode where he goes to Costa Rica, and they spend a really long time talking about all of his fears in Costa Rica. I'm like, that doesn't help me very much.
Yeah.
Like all the things that could go wrong in Costa Rica.
Is there a lot of things? I've only seen one episode.
Oh, no. There's not a lot of things. There's snakes in Costa Rica, and I don't love snakes. There's also, what else was it? Oh, poisonous spiders in Costa Rica. And there's, I forget what else, but it was just like, he was going through all of his fears, and I'm just like, you don't need to be hitting me with all that stuff. But,
that's fun.
But it's a nice little show. What are your thoughts on that show?
Yeah. I love Eugene Levy.
Me too.
I could watch this man darn socks. I mean, he is engaging. He's super engaging. I'm really into the show. I think it's really good. You know that he was almost Toby Ziegler, right?
Yeah.
So for the longest time, you know who Judd Hirsch is, don't you?
Yep.
Okay. For the longest time, I knew there was someone who was almost Toby Ziegler. I thought it was Judd Hirsch.
Oh.
But more recently anyway, this is an aside.
Yeah.
But I learned it was Eugene Levy, and I think he's really funny. I think
you would have been a poor choice for that show.
It would have been a different show.
Yeah,
completely. I think I like the premise. I like the idea that he's like, I don't know that I'm going to be doing that.
He is like you traveling around.
Probably. So. Yeah. I think that's maybe why that doesn't seem like something I'd want to try
here.
Yeah. It's toasty in the cabin. But I really enjoy. I've seen the one episode. It was the one where he went to Finland, and he was like, really good, reindeer, huh? That looks tasty. And that's one of the things I'm actually probably more adventurous on, is like trying new things. But yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of the show. It's good.
All right, cool. My second thing. Well, let me say a couple quick things. Checked out Full Swing, which you mentioned in our last episode. Watched the whole thing. I loved it. It was really, really good. But for all the reasons that you said last time, it's definitely worth checking out. And if you followed, like now that I understand a little bit more, if you followed the whole Live Golf thing last year with the battle and all this stuff, I got the impression that since I don't know if you knew all the stuff that was going on last year, I actually got a little bit of the impression that this was sort of a propaganda from PGA, because they really make the Live golfers look bad, and they really make the PGA golfers look good. But generally speaking, I like the PGA golfers anyway more than I already thought the Live golfers looked bad. So that's fine. I agreed with everything Full Swing did, but it did feel a little bit weird at certain points where it's just like, well, you're just trying to make them look bad. Still, it's awesome, just like the rest of these. I also watched season 2 of Make It or Break It, which is the surfing show, which is
that's Apple TV Plus, right?
Yep, Apple TV Plus. That's just like Full Swing, and it's season 2 is great. Definitely, you should pick that show up for sure. Pretty fast. I'm current on Hello Tomorrow, which is there's another episode since the last time I talked about it. It's getting more interesting, sort of, and so I'm still sticking with it. And then
it has a Twilight Zone feel.
Did you check it out?
I saw the first.
It does have a Twilight
ad I've ever seen for it.
Oh, okay.
It's like it has like a 50s sitcom feel, but it's like the only thing I can think of right now, which is not a great example, is like WandaVision, how everything's a little weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite, nothing's quite right. Like you can't put your finger on it. Anyway, it looks It looks good though. It looks funny.
Yeah. There's nothing about the Twilight Zone in it, but you're exactly right about the feel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's at least at this point, there's no Twilight Zone element to it, like story wise. But it's maybe worth checking out. I thought it was worth mentioning, since I talk about soccer so much, the MLS streaming service launched. The first game was last week, this last Saturday, the first set of games. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool universe. And so if you want to watch any MLS, you have to go to Apple TV to watch it. Sometimes you have to subscribe. Okay. About half the games last Saturday were free. But in order to kind of watch this season, you'll eventually have to subscribe, unless you're a season ticket member like I am and you get it for free.
Okay, that was my question. Yeah. I just was under the assumption that you pay for Apple TV Plus.
I know. Yeah.
So it's like called Season Pass, correct? Mm-hmm. And now, are there always going to be some free games, or are they just having some?
There will always be some free games.
Okay.
Yeah, every week, but they're going to rotate which teams are free.
That's better than MLB.
Yeah,
for sure.
And there's going to be a lot of free games early on. They'll try to get you hooked, and then so we'll see what happens. I mean, but
any idea what the season pass costs? It wasn't.
No.
It didn't seem like it was a lot.
I think it's like, I don't know.
I thought I saw it. It didn't seem like it was a lot.
It wasn't a ton, but also they had some really weird, there's a lot about it that's really good. And they had some really weird technical issues, like during the first.
Oh, that stuff for sure, though, would be. I'm sure that would happen, you know?
Yeah. But there was a dude like during the very first initial broadcast of the pregame show for the first set of games, there's just a dude for way too long, probably 2 minutes straight, where he's like, check, 1, 2, check, over the people. He's checking a microphone. It was so like rudimentary. It was funny.
Oh, that is awesome.
Okay, finally, the thing I watched. I checked out The Consultant on Prime Video, which is, oh my gosh, how did I just blank on his name? What's his name?
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz. And the girl from White Lotus and
Brittany O'Grady. Yeah.
Yes, she's a very main character in this show. I have no idea what's going on. I'm 3 episodes in and I have no idea what's going on. I'm not sure I enjoy it very much. At this point, I'm going to continue watching until at least I understand what the premise of the show is. But also, like, Leah came in and I was watching like episode 3. She was like, how is it? And I was like, I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. I can't tell what's going on. She was like, how far are you in? And I was like, 3 episodes. I'm 3 episodes in and I still kind of have no idea what's going on.
I think it is literally their answer to Succession. I think it is.
It's nothing like Succession, at least yet.
I'll have to watch it, but the fact that they're labeling it a black comedy.
I don't see any black comedy either. It's crazy. I believe you that
they think they made a black comedy. I think that's my point. They think they made one. So whether it is or isn't funny, I mean,
yeah,
they're under the impression they made a black comedy to compete with The White Lotus and Succession, I think.
It's not anything like those. And it's not, that's just making me like it less because it's not doing that. Yeah. But anyway, I don't like, there's a bit of a theme with like, I do not care for shock value stuff. And this show starts on a shock value thing. There's a couple shock value things and I just don't like you replacing narrative with shock value, like capturing my attention with something shocking, rather than writing a good narrative. Yeah. And this is based on a novel of some sort, but so I'm not making a comment on the novel, but I will see. We'll see. I'll keep you updated, I guess. That's it for me.
So first of all, I'm current on Shrinking, current on The Last of Us, current on Poker Face. Did you watch Poker Face yet?
I have not watched the most recent yet. No.
It's different. It's unique. It's
cool.
I thought it was pretty cool. It's unlike some of the other ones. So I'm all caught up on those. I started watching Luther again. Mm-hmm. Luther stars Idris Elba. It's a dark crime drama from the BBC. It's on Netflix for a while. There's going to be a new made for Netflix movie. So I wanted to do a little refresher, kind of just to pass the time. But Luther is just not a show you pass the time with. It's rough. So, but it's good. It's really good. I mean, it would remind you a little bit of Sherlock in some places, although I think Sherlock has a little more lightheartedness to it. Anyway, brand new season of Drive to Survive just came out, I think like past couple days.
Last Friday, I think, yeah.
Holy cow.
I haven't watched any of it.
I forgot how hard it was, like, just to breathe while this show, like, there was one of the funniest things that has been said so far. Toto, the principal from Mercedes, they were like, "Hey, are you ready for this documentary?" And he was like, "What you guys do here is closer to Top Gun than a documentary." And I was like, "That's exactly right." I mean, like that, it really caught me the right way, because Drive to Survive is they're telling us their story. Netflix is telling their version of the events. And it's, I don't know, it's really compelling though. Like, it's awesome. And I think I think it really has created this whole, especially in America, this whole new group of fans for Formula One.
No doubt. Yeah.
So I think that's everything for me.
Nice. We should do an episode of all these.
That's what I was.
Sports docu, whatever.
Yeah.
And like do some like take one for like 10 minutes and another one for 10 minutes, because we're not going to do a full episode on any of them, but we love all of them. So that's I
think that'd be a great idea.